Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be working on these two graphs. We'll be working on these two graphs, and we're going to be using this data. But the way this was made, it was actually made so that you would have students cut them out on a piece of paper, and we're obviously not cutting them out on a piece of paper. So we're only going to focus on this set of data because it's all the same. Okay, so it's not confusing. That makes sense to everybody. Okay, so let's take a look at the graph. If you look at the graph, what do you see is on the y-axis? What is graph on the y-axis? Jaden? Distance in miles. And it's important to know, Seth, are you with me? Okay. It's important to know that 0 miles we're going to call home. Okay? 0 miles is home. So anytime we're moving this direction, we're moving away from home. Okay? Does that make sense? And if we're moving this direction, we're moving back towards home. Now on this graph, what's the maximum number of miles somebody could go? Will? 4 miles. Then graphed across the bottom is what? Michaela? It is graph x-axis, but what are we graphing? Time. The amount of time, and the amount of time is in minutes. Okay, now you look at the next graph, it's the exact same kind of thing. You've got miles, and you've got minutes. All right? And what is this if it's down here? Home. And anything up here is away from home. Okay, so you'll actually see, you see here, we've got a line that's going that way. Where's that line going? Towards home. Towards home. Okay? All right. Now, the other thing is you're going to have to do some adding and some subtracting in some cases, because if minutes start, let's say we have some minutes that started at 4 and ended at 10. How many minutes actually occurred? If it started at minute 4 and ended at minute 10, how many minutes passed, Alyssa? 6. So make sure you're kind of paying attention to that as well as you think about it. All right. So let's take a look at our first set of data. We're going to look at A. A car takes 4 minutes. So which axis are we going to look at for the 4 minutes? X or Y? X. So it takes 4 minutes to return home. So which way is it going to be going? Down. So which line in either one of these graphs would that be? Which line is going towards home? That? That's actually at home. The one, because you're talking about this right here, right? Okay, so let's say, are we talking? Let me point. We're talking about this line. Talk about this line. This one right here. No, we're talking about this line. Yeah. How many of you agree this is the line? This line, so it starts at, if we go down, it starts at 6, ends at 10. How many minutes is that? 4, and it went towards home. Okay? So that, we're going to label, bless you. We're going to label that A. Okay? Label that A. Okay, so this one's going to be a little more tricky because you're going to have to look for minutes, and you're also going to have to look for miles. So the car goes a total of 4 miles, goes a total of 4 miles, and it takes 8 minutes for them to do it. A total of 4 miles, and it takes 8 minutes for them to do it. So which one of these lines goes 4 miles in 8 minutes? Everybody needs to be looking. Don't just assume your neighbor's going to figure it out. But pretty soon you're going to do this the rest of it by yourself. 4 miles, 8 minutes. I should see everybody's hands pretty quickly. 4 miles, 8 minutes. Well, let's look at every line. Let's look at every line. How many miles does this first line go? How many miles does this first line go? Starts here at what mile? 0. And it ends at, did it go 4 miles? No. What do you think this line's doing? It's not going any miles, so what's it doing, Alyssa? Yes, that means he's just stopped. Okay, so this one starts at mile 3 and ends at mile 4. So how many miles did it go? 1. Okay, so are any of these lines the right line? No. Okay, so we'll go down to the next one. How many miles is in this one? 2. What happened in this one? Stop. What happened in this? Oh, what happened in this one? No, this right down here. Stop. He stopped at home. He stopped at home. Okay, well we're getting down to the only choice we have left, but let's take a look. It starts where? So 0, right? And ends up here at 4. Now we look, it's 12 minutes. 20, so how many minutes have passed by? 8. So is that our line? Yeah. Okay. So that's B, right? Am I keeping track right? Okay. So that's B. All right. Let's do the next one. C. Let's look at C. C says a car stops for 6 minutes while picking up a friend. Picking up the friend really just is in there for story purposes. It's the 6 minutes. So where do we have a car stopping for 6 minutes? Where do we have, Haley, where do we have a car stopping for 6 minutes? You got it. Which line? First, second, or third? Second. Perfect. Right here. Stop at 6 and at 12. That's 6 minutes. Okay. Good job. All right. At B. A car travels 3 minutes towards school. 3 miles towards school in 6 minutes. 3 miles towards school in 6 minutes. Macy? Okay. That's D, right? Isn't it D? Okay. Does everybody agree that's D? Yeah. You good? All right, here's what I want you to do now. I'm gonna stop the recording. I want you to do E, F, G, and H. E, F, G, and H by yourself. We've made it pretty easy because we've used a lot of the lines already up. Okay? One of those goes on the 4 remaining lines. Alright? So I want you to go ahead and do that. When you've got it done, flip your iPad over so I know you're ready to move on. Alright? If you don't think you know how to do it, raise your hand so I can come around and help you. Alright. recording. Oh, that's frozen, so I'm not. It's probably already recording, but
It is. Let's see. Okay. So just for those of you that maybe had to kind of look at things, weren't exactly sure. Let's start with E. We're just going to review it. I know you got it right because people check it. So get your papers in front of you. It says Josh realizes he may have forgotten his homework and pulls over and looks through his backpack for a minute. So tell me, Gavin, how do we know that somebody stopped? What the line looks like if somebody stopped? A little dinky line. So it's going to be straight across, right? Parallel with the x-axis. So which of these dinky lines is it? How long is it for? Did he stop? One minute. Okay. So we're going to go little dinky line. Which one of these two dinky lines, and by dinky lines I think you mean this one or this one, which one of those dinky lines is just 1 minute? The first one, and you can tell because it's really little. Okay, 1 minute. So that is E. Right, guys? The right letter. All right, then let's look at the next one. Plan. Tisha gets caught in traffic and travels 1 mile in 8 minutes. What's the key? I'm looking for a line that shows a person travels how much? Travels 1 mile. 1 mile in 8 minutes. So if we look at these, which one of these shows a person just traveling 1 mile? First graph or second graph? First graph. Okay. And since we only have one line, I'm assuming it's here. So we're going to take a look. We go across. They start at 3. They end at 4. That's just 1 mile, right? And then we know it's 1 minute because we can go down and it's 12. We go down and it's 20. And the difference between 20 and 12 is 8. Okay, so that is what letter is that, guys? F. Okay. Then the next one, Noah, is the car travels 2 miles in 5 minutes. So what am I looking for first? A line that shows what? That it went 2 miles. Okay, so we don't have too many lines left that are showing movement, do we? Because the only 2 lines we have left are this one and this one. And that one shows that the car is doing what? Stop. Yeah, it stopped. So it's got to be this one, right? So if we look, we go across, yep, 2 miles, go down 5 minutes, right? So that one is G. So we could almost, by process of elimination, say that the last one H. But let's look at H. Car stops for 2 minutes. Does the car stop for 2 minutes? Yeah. So that's H. Okay. Here's what you're going to do now. And take a look at the analysis question. Number 4. 4A, B, C, and D. It's going to ask you to look at the graph. Tell me which graph goes with which letter. Okay, which graph goes with which letter. I want to show you a couple of things first. Let me just ask you a question real quick. Everybody look up here. What's this mean? We have a line like this. It means the car is stop. If the line's going down, it means it's going home or going back. Okay, here's one we don't know quite yet. If it's going like this or going like this, is line 1 or line 2 faster?
Line 2.
2? 1. Because it's going more miles in a shorter amount of time, right? More miles in a shorter amount of time. Okay, so the steep line is faster. All right, so I'm going to leave those up there.
do number 4, A, B, C, and D. All you have to do is put the letter right on the graph, okay? Okay, let's take a look. So the first, or the 4A says a car is moving at a constant speed, then moves in the opposite, stop. That's important. Stop, and then moves in the opposite direction. Which graph shows a car moving at a constant speed, it stops, and it moves in the opposite direction? Macy? Graph 2. So graph 2 is A. Moves at constant speed, stop, moves in the opposite direction. So that's A. All right, B. A car moving at a constant speed stops and then moves faster in the same direction. So it moves at a constant speed, it stops, then it moves faster in the same direction. Drew? Graph 1? 4. Yes, graph 4. Perfect. Yeah. And the way you know that is because you see that stop right there. Perfect. Perfect, Drew. All right, letter C. A car moving at a constant speed changes speed to a higher constant speed. Jason? Graph 1. By process of elimination, hopefully, Lance, a car moving at a constant speed changes to a lower constant speed. That's graph 3. All right,